Hey everybody, this is Kevin with Motivational Med, and today I'm going to be talking about Amboss. This is going to be the first video in a series I'm calling a review of systems, where I go through and just review as objectively as possible different systems I personally have used for USMLE Step 1. It's April 26, 2020. I'm about 2 months out from taking my actual exam, so keep that in mind when you listen to this. But okay, so I'm grading Q banks on three different things: the quality of the questions, the quality of the explanations and the content that comes with the Q bank, and also the interface or the usability. I think overall questions and content are probably the most important thing, which is why I recommend, as you probably know, UWorld number one, but the interface, I think, and also the difficulty of some of the questions of Amboss are what really makes Amboss stand apart from the rest. The difficult questions are very, very challenging. So if you do Amboss and you get a lower percentage than you would in UWorld, don't be discouraged. I was probably getting on average like 5 to 10% less raw score. And I'll show you in a bit why that is. Also, the interface is so streamlined. It really, really helped in synthesizing incorrect questions after I got it wrong. So let's dive right into it. All right, so the difficult questions. All right, you can pause this and try to do this question if you'd like and look at it. But if you look on this right-hand column here, only 23% of people got this question correct. 23%. I think in UWorld, that's very, very rare. I basically don't see that very often at all, but this distribution of percentage selection per question is pretty common. And in Amboss, they do this amazing thing where they rate questions by difficulty. So 5 is the hardest, and then 1 is the easiest. So 1 hammer or 5 hammer. And you can actually go through and select purposely difficulty levels of questions. So if you don't like a 5 hammer question, you can actually unselect that from the questions that you would get in a set. All right. But yeah, I mean, this question is at 23%. And I think what I like about these difficult questions is that even though they might require you to know some kind of minutia, they challenge you in a way that forces you to go through every single answer choice and understand exactly what's going on. And if you get it wrong, so be it. But for me, the way I look at doing difficult questions is it's kind of like if you're going to a weightlifting competition and you need to lift 180 pounds at the competition. So in training, you want to get to like 200. And when you train for harder conditions in the actual thing, it makes it so that even if you don't get enough sleep, or you are nervous, or you don't drink enough water on the competition day, it's still okay because you train for harder conditions than you were competing at. So that was kind of my mentality when I did Amboss. All right, and I want to dive into what I really liked about the interface here. And what you can see here is that here, let me just refresh this real quick. So you would basically go to the Q bank and you want to see previous sessions. So you review this question. And when you review a question, okay, you get here and you can see that it actually doesn't show you the answer, right? It actually gives you a chance to select another answer. So what that means is that when you get a question incorrect and you go for your review, it gives you a second pass to try to select and do the question again, knowing that this answer was incorrect. And I don't know of any other Q bank that allows you to do this, but to me, this was like very powerful. It was kind of like the same idea as doing your UWorld incorrects again, except that it was built into the review system. And I really like that. And something that I would also use in conjunction with this is the key info and attending tip tabs here. And if I still was not able to understand, what the answer was, like let's say I got it wrong, I would like select key info and that would hone in on the relevant details of the stem to help you to get the answer. And let's say I select another one, I still couldn't get it. Then I would go to attending tip and see how an attending would want you to think about it. And this like multi-step process is really powerful because it gives you multiple passes through the same thing, but it also helps to kind of like a funnel, like hone in on the important details of the question. And because I realize about these like questions on USMLE is there's often a lot of irrelevant details. And part of being able to get through certain question types is to eliminate the noise. And I think what Amboss does really well is to show you how to eliminate the noise. Okay, and then let's dive into, so that's the interface. Let's dive into the explanations themselves. Okay, so here is kind of where I think that Amboss is honestly could use a little bit of work is the explanation quality. I mean, I like the explanations. They're very clear and they help to rule in and rule out. But what I like about UWorld or about Kaplan is that they'll often show like a big diagram which walks through from beginning to end the whole topic. So for example, this question is about transplantation, right? They kind of, their explanations are focused in on like ruling out, E or ruling in B. But they, if you've done Kaplan or UWorld before, they'll often show a big diagram or a table that shows multiple different differential diagnoses and how to distinguish between them, or a big diagram that kind of shows you the whole, system. And I kind of missed that, to be honest, when doing Amboss. But I get why they did this. It really helps you to hone in on the relevant details. And what they kind of, I think, expect you to do is to click this, which is a learning card. So Amboss has these things called learning cards where they hone in on a specific topic. If you click it, you can go directly to kind of the fast fact sheet page where it explains from beginning to end that topic. Yeah, and if you kind of hover over these different things, it's really nice that it kind of gives you a snapshot view of what that term is, in case you didn't know what like interferon gamma does. Cool. Well, that's it for Amboss. So just to summarize, the questions are very, very difficult in Amboss. Don't be afraid if you're getting more questions wrong than you would in UWorld. The interface is amazing. 5 out of 5. I think it's the best interface. I've done 5 QBanks. I've done Kaplan, Boards and Beyond, RX, and UWorld. And I think it's the best interface out of all of them. I think on average, I was spending maybe 2 hours to review 40 questions in UWorld. On Amboss, I was spending less than an hour. Very, very lightning quick. It was the process of understanding why I got a question wrong was pretty quick. And the process of like searching through content about a question I got wrong, also very quick. So the interface just kind of helped you be more efficient. As far as when you should use Amboss, you can use it before UWorld, after UWorld. I think people have said mixed things. I personally decided to use it before UWorld because I wanted something more challenging before I started UWorld. I also felt that doing UWorld at the end was the best because it's, from what I've seen, in my research, it's like, it seems to be the most close to the actual exam itself. So I wanted to do UWorld closest to my actual exam. All right, well, that's it. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me or to just write a comment in the box below. With that, good luck with everything. Stay safe. These are crazy times, and good luck with everything. I'll talk to you guys next time.